Guys, is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening. Welcome to the next session. Today we are going to study about the understanding global trade. And in this, we are having that is the basics of the international trade theories and the role of India in global trade. So I'm going to explain to you all with examples as well. So, first thing is about we shall study about the understanding of global trade. So, everybody are present, right? There are 9 members I can see. Okay, fine, guys. Let me start. That is, understanding about the global trade. What is, the global trade? I'm going to explain to you all. And the global trade is also known as an international trade. So first me read and then I will explain you all. First is trade is a concept of exchanging goods and services between two people and the entities. Entities is nothing but the product like in which they are good at or in which they are specialized or in which they are expertise. So that country, it might be any region or it might be any technology or labor which skills that particular person or the country has. And so this type of trade, that is the international trade, is a concept of this exchange between people and the entities in different countries. People or the entities trade because they believe that they benefit from the exchange, maybe need or want of goods or services. So let me explain to you all. Firstly, what is an international trade? So as I mentioned, that the trade is exchanging of goods and services between two people, between two people or two countries. That is the global trade, which involves exchanging of goods and services. That is, one country will be an exporter, another one will be an importer. So it benefits both the countries, or that is the exporter and the importer as well, with they both have the benefit of making profits, and also by consuming that particular product, their customer satisfaction. So the countries come up into this type of services, or the goods exchanging of goods and services, which are beneficial for them, and they can produce the best. So this allows the countries to specialize in what they are most efficient at producing, and also trading for what they need or what they want. For example, imagine a country like Brazil that has a lot of suitable land for growing coffee. And Brazil focuses on producing and exporting coffee to other countries because it is specialized in producing coffee, as it has good nature, it has good climate, it has good geographical features. So in this manner, it has to export coffee to other countries. So such as the different countries are the United States, which have the right climate for coffee, but they can produce the high quality of technological product. For example, as I said you, Brazil, it has a good production, it has a good climate for producing coffee. And USA, it has good technology for producing the products, or the machinery products or the advanced products to manufacture. So Brazil exports coffee to US, and US exports technology. That is, that is, it imports the coffee from Brazil and exports technology to Brazil. So this type of exchange is called as an international trading. So both the countries will have good benefit by getting their best goods at lower cost. So this is known about the international trade. So as there are few examples, the trading can be done, that is by food, clothes, spare parts, oil, jewelry, wine, stocks, currency, and water. Services are like the trade. They can also trade such as the tourism, banking, consulting, and transportation. Tourism, nowadays many people are excited to travel worldwide. So there are different tourism companies which have started, which have good connections with so and so countries, so they come up with and trading, so they are providing services. That is, tourism is been happening, so that the UK or the US people are more interested to know about the culture of India, they want to see India. So there are connections between two countries wherein they can trade themselves, that is the services are being traded. Banking, consulting, and transportation as well come under services. Consulting, maybe like some Indians want to go to Germany for their further studies, so there are different companies like consultancy firms wherein they help the students to go to different country and get the education or the job. So the trading between two countries in which they are good at, in which they are best at, in which their expertise are. So in this way the trading happens between two countries, so it might be the product or it might be the services. So this is understanding about the global trade, and the global trade is also known as an international trade because they are trading internationally, that is worldwide, the globe. So this concept is known as understanding of the trade, that is the global trade or the international trade. Okay, is it clear
Hello,
till
ma'am.
here, guys? Yes, tell me,
I wanted to ask you the question.
yeah.
Last lecture you says that like what is the import and export? Okay, and right
Mhm.
now you say that the international trade. Okay, so what is the difference behind it? Both are the same or there is a different?
International trade, trading only is import and export. Trading means trade means what? Trade is something like you are in, for example, you are giving you have manufacturing one product and you wanted to sell it to other people or the other country. So this type of manufacturing and which you are expertise, that for example, if you are in good at to come up with one product, for example, I would tell you sugar cosmetics. So you have one good idea, you are differentiating the public, among the public you are creating one product which is not existing in market, and that particular product has good value and demand. So you try to make your business first domestically and you get good results, you want to export your product, that is worldwide, globally, you want to make it famous and you want to earn money, make profit. So you go on trading, that is it comes to the international trade, that means your product you're selling to other country. So this type of trade is called as when you are you know going out of the country, that type of the selling your product to different country, that is type of trade is called as international trade. Got the point? Because you are
Yes.
differentiating, your skill are different, you are coming up with one product which is for example, now rice, you are a good you are having a sorry, you are having a farm wherein you grow rice, something like that. This type of item you want to sell it to different country where there are in need of that, where the demand is high. For example, in China, the rice are being more demanded, so supply rice to that particular country, that is the China. So you are, what you're doing, you're doing trading to that country. So that is called you are exporting that particular item to them because you want to make some profits and you want to get more money out of that. Like compared to Indian currency, the yan currency, that is the China's currency is greater. So you are going to export your product to make yourself profitable and make your life more luxury and high standard of living. Got the point?
Yes, ma'am. Like import and export comes
Mm.
under the international trade. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You're trading globally. Globally means what? Out of India, that is everywhere, wherever you want, wherever you make search, you research the market, and you're selling that particular product globally across the world. So this is called as an international trade. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
It might be anything, it might be any food, that is as I said you the example here, you can see it might be any product or it might be services. As some people, even you want to go to Germany for the further studies and all, you are into some some companies are there, some consultancies are there, they provide you that services, they help you to join to that particular country as a as a student or as an employee, wherever you want to work, they help you out and they charge some particular commissions. So this type of services are also called as a global trade, it comes under the global trading. Got it?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome. So next is about the basics of international trade. We have two types of international trade. First comes as the classic theory, and another one is the modern theory. First, we are going to study about what is classic theory. So in international trade, early, if in 60s, in 16th century, these trade started developing once when they got to know that the in worldwide there are also different countries. This theories of trading started from the classical trading, which again has four parts, that is the mercantilism, Smith's theory of absolute advantage, Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage, Hackshaw Olin theory. So first we are going to study about the earliest one which came into exist, the first trade which came into exist. So that is known as the mercantilism. That I would sorry, yeah. So this type of trading, that is the yeah. So that is, the mercantilism. This is developed in the mid 16th century in England. So it was one of the earliest effort to develop an economic theory. This theory started that a country wealth was determined by the amount of its gold and silver holding, and it believed that the country should increase its holding of gold and silver by promoting the exports and discouraging the import. For example, I would like to tell you in different countries like Britain and all, they were having some colonies. So the Britain and the France, they prevented their colonies such as India and Indonesia. They are having the Britain used to import the that is the raw material at lower price, and they used to export their high price manufactured goods with the same to the same colonies. It was happening in the British time. For example, I would like to tell you all, the British people used to take the raw materials from India. They used to import the raw materials of sugar, example, which made them as a refine. And after taking the raw materials from India, they used to manufacture there, and from there the refined sugar they used to export to India at a higher price. This was beneficial for one country, as they are taking the raw materials from the existing country, and after that taking the raw materials, they manufacture that particular product in their country and export them at a high price, which is profitable for them and losses for the Indian country. So this is one of the example for sugar as well as tobacco also. Tobacco, what they used to do, they used to take the raw material of tobacco and manufacture in their country, in that Britain country, and export the same product for the higher price to make profit. So these are the two examples which came into existing, wherein the raw materials they used to take in a cheaper way, that is less price, and export manufacture that same product, and they used to come out with, and after manufacturing and all, they used to export that same particular product in for the higher price. So this process was being followed, and it was done in the 16th century. And after this this type of trading was under the beneficial only for one country and losses for the another country. So Adam Smith theory came into exist, which is called as an absolute advantage. So absolute advantage in this Adam Smith theory, it is called, this theory is known as a free trade, because as one country was in advantage, another country was under losses. So this theory came into existing, this trade came into existing in 1776. Adam Smith you know made came up with this theory, that is the absolute advantage, wherein in his book he has written that he is the wealth, that this type of theory, this theory was the wealth of nation, wherein Smith offered a new trade theory called as an absolute advantage, which focused on the ability of the country to produce good more efficiently than any other nations. So in this theory, they started that it was a trade between two countries that should be regulated and it should not be regulated or restricted by the government policies, or the any kind of taxes should be paid. So he started the trade that was with the flow of the natural according to the market force. That is, he introduced the idea of mutual benefit through the trade. For example, each country, that is, each country should export the good in which they are absolute advantage in production. So it was a beginning for the concept of free trade. Absolute advantage, for example, it depends upon the climatic condition, depends upon the geographical condition, or the labors available, or the technology available. So in this absolute theory, what they defined as the countries which are good in the climate, which are good in their land, in their soil, they have to export that particular product to the country which are less, wherein the climatic condition is not good, or they are in need of that particular product. So they have to export their item, who are in good with these type of products. They have to export their products to the countries which are in need of that, with free trade. That is, there are no rules and regulations or the taxes paid to the government. So the free trade was developed in this theory, that is, absolute advantage theory. So again, in this advantage, we are having two types, that is, the natural advantage and the acquired advantage. Natural advantage is, the countries which are having good resources, that is the natural resources, good labors. For example, in India those days, many people were not educated. So they were many people were hardworking, so they were, many people were, good at labors as well. Then according to the geographical conditions, like, for example, in Saudi Arabia, they are, according to their, geographical uh, graphics and all, they are good for the petroleum products. And also it depends upon the climatic condition, like what type of, according to that climate, what suits, what type of production should be done, like, the rice, wheats, etc., eatable items, fruits, these type of items. So they have to export it to the country wherein they are need of that. Like Canadian, where you can't grow this tea, coffee type of items, India has to export them in the free, that was for the free, that the trading was done free. And the Canadian, which are good in technology, they used to export their technological product to India. So these exchange of products, wherein one specialized country, that is, their expertise, to the another country where they are expertise, they both used to exchange them. So the natural advantage is about the climatical condition, the natural resources, about the labors, about the geography, about their geographical features. And aquatic advantage, it is where, it depends upon the technology, where the countries like Japan, so these type of countries are good in technology, so they have to export their particular technology to the countries where the technology is minimal, or the technology is less. So this type of theory is called as an absolute advantage theory. Then comes the next. Uh, yeah, I would explain you all with an
Ma'am,
example as well.
ma'am,
Yeah.
please once again repeat the absolute advantage theory.
Okay. Yeah. In absolute advantage theory is nothing but where, the advantage, absolute advantage means one country with, for example, in India we can grow good number of eatable items, like, the consumption items, which we are good at. It depends upon the geographical feature, depends upon the climate, depends upon the soil, depends upon the hardworking people, that is the labor. We are getting cheap labor in India as well. So depend upon this, India has to export those type of products to the countries where the where you don't find good labors, or cheap labors, where the climatic condition is not good. So there, in those countries, India has to export. For example, petroleum, we don't have petroleum in India, so we have to import petroleum from Saudi Arabia. So they are good at the petroleum production and all, so they, export us, and we are importing that petroleum in our country. So this is exchanging of the trading, that is, where which country is specialized and which their expertise is, they export their item. And which country has good climatic condition, or they are good at technology, they export their item to globally, that is, to other countries where they are in need of that. Got it?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. So in this absolute theory, it is just like, absolute advantage, and it was free. Like, there was no taxes paid, there was no custom duties, no government regulations. So in this period of time, it was a free trading between two countries where their expertise are, where they are good at. So after this theory, come, we come upon next two theories. First is as two theories we explained you. Next come as the Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage. What is this? This theory explains us that, after the absolute theory was being completed, the new theory existing, that was from the 1970s. David Ricardo introduced this concept of comparative advantage. Comparative advantage occurs when a country cannot produce that product better and more efficiently than it does with other countries. Comparative advantage focuses on the relative productivity differences. Even if the country has a competitive advantage in both the goods, it can make profit by giving up the production of the competitive less efficiency product produced good. For example, India has an advantage in both tea and sugar, but it makes tea more efficiently, that comparative to other country. For example, Mauritius. Here in Mauritius, the production of tea is less than the production of sugar. So both the countries can benefit each other. That is, India has two products, like, tea and sugar, but more efficiently they can produce tea. So sugar, Mauritius can produce more in larger quantity, so they have to export tea and import sugar from Mauritius. So these type of this theory is called as this theory is called as a comparative advantage. So, there will be advantage for countries where, they can produce n number of things, but in which they are specialized, in which that particular country is, can produce in large number of large number of production or large number of units, and that they can export worldwide. Then rather than both the exporting both the products, that is the tea and sugar, both India can produce, but efficiently it is tea, so it has to focus only on tea and export tea and import sugar from other country. As Mauritius is better in in the production of sugar. So this type of theory is called as a comparative advantage. So is it clear till here?
Ma'am, you says that Mauritius have a less sugar producer and have
No,
a
no, no, no.
first
Now
line you
see,
says that.
no, no. What you said?
I am saying that like you said that Mauritius have a less producer of the sugar and more producer of the tea.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. No, I mean to say that Maurice, for example, in this theory, that is, comparative advantage. Here, those days in 1817, what people used to do, like India has specialized in two countries. They can produce tea, they can produce sugar as well. Okay. For example, tea they are producing in 10 units, and sugar they are producing in 5 units. Mauritius, they are only producing sugar for 10 units. So instead of uh, y- we can produce large number of tea, right, where our expertise is more in tea, so we have to produce more tea rather than focusing on sugar. We can import that sugar from other country, that where they are in expertise, so where they can grow faster than us. So this depends upon that. That type of trading is called as a comparative advantage.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Hmm. Because one country, they can produce both, but they have to focus only on one item where they can export it in large number of quantity, where their expertise is more, so that they can import that item and it will be beneficial for both the countries. Producing tea and producing sugar, and Mauritius also is producing sugar at a very less price comparatively to India. It is better that we import that their product of sugar and export our tea to them.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Got it? Yeah, welcome. So next, after this comparative theory advantage, next comes as a Hackshaws all-in theory. It is also known as a factor proposition, that is the endowment theory. They determined that the cost of any factor or resources was a function of supply and demand. Factors that were in great supply relative to demand would be cheaper. For example, India and China. These countries have different resources. Some have more labor, some have more land, and some have more capital. That is, the capital means the money and the machineries. And also, the production needs resources. For example, making different products requires different amount of these resources. For example, making shoes needs more labor, while making computers needs more capital. So one country may be good for the labors as hardworking people you all can find in India. Other country is, they are good at making computers. They are as they are having more money, they are having more machineries. So these comparatively, according to which country can produce more, that production should happen in that particular country, and they can export that. So trading benefit. So this can benefit everyone. For example, countries can trade products they can make easily because they have lots of need of that resources for that particular product that are harder for them to make. For example, in India, production those days, production of computers was highly much more difficult, as people were uneducated. They have not focused on education. Less education was there. English, those type of languages were difficult for them to learn. So we can't manufacture computers. So we are good at manufacturing shoes. For example, for the shoe making we required more labors, that is the hard working people. So we can produce manufacture shoes and export to China. And China, which they are in good with the computers, with the technology, so they can export the computers to India. That is, we are importing computers from China. So as they are specialized in it, and they are good at manufacturing the computers. So this type of trade was known as the Hackshaws all-in theory. So it was also known as proposition and endowment theory. So till here it is clear, guys.
Y-
Yeah, let me
Yes, ma'am.
glance to
Yes,
you all.
ma'am.
Yeah, let me glance to you all once again in short. Yeah, first theory. Yeah, first theory, that is, the classical theory is completed. Next, we are going to move on to the modern theories. Here, in modern theories, we came upon, there are different, again, subdivisions in that. That is the country similarity theory. We have product life cycle. We have global strategy reveal theory, posters theory of competitive advantage. So, first four theories, which was practiced in the olden days, and now the modern theories, which came into exist. So I'm going to explain to you all about the modern theories. So let me begin. In modern theories, first comes as the country similarity theory. The slide, let me select. Okay. So here, in this type of modern theory that came into exist after the completion of the olden days, the modern theories of trade came into exist, where first one is the country similarity theory. Swedish economist, that is the Stephen Linder, developed the country similarity theory in 1961. He tried to explain the concept of intra-industry trade. The theory proposed that customers in countries that are in the same or similar stages of development would have similar preference. Firms seeks to comfort of uh, familiarities, and the companies can trade in products that are inherited different of different versions of the same basic product. Example, USA and Germany trade in automobiles are designed and engineering is different. For example, the countries, that is, the country similarity theory, it explains that where the demand is high and the supply is less. For example, German and France, they are high standards of living, and they are similar customers preference as well. So Germany can export high end cars like BMW to France, while France can export their wine and high fashion goods to Germany. So this will help the industry and the economy, and also the similar levels of development in the fosters, which will make strong relationship in their trading. Another example I would like to tell you all, like Australia and Switzerland. So these are the neighboring countries. They have the similar agriculture industries, and the customers market. They trade dairy products, meat, and wines. Australia can export wine to New Zealand. Meanwhile, New Zealand can export the dairy items to Australia. So this type of theory came into existing after it was in 1961. So this type of exchange of theories is known as the modern theory, or it is known as the country similarity theory. So till here it is understandable, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt? Okay. So next comes as the product life cycle. What is product life cycle theory is also known as a Raymond theory, wherein the product cycle. For example, one particular product when while in the production, like it has a life cycle of that particular product. It starts from the introduction to the decline one. So there are different in that cycle we have introduction, we have growth, we have maturity, and we have a decline of that particular product. So this explains, in this theory it is explained that a product has a life cycle as well, how the value of that one product will increase, and sorry, and how it declines, and the value of that particular product declines. So we are going to study this type of cycle is called as a product life cycle. It was introduced by the Raymond Vernon. The product life cycle that is was developed by the Raymond Vernon explains how a product production and the trade patterns change over its life cycle from introduction to growth, maturity, and the decline. Initially, new products are produced and exported by the innovation countries. Over time, at the over time, when we come for the product standardization, when the product becomes more standardized, and also they increase, also you can find increase of competition in that particular product. It might shift from one country to another country for the lower cost of production. So let me explain to you all how the product has been introduced, how the growth of the product is uh, it will come into, after introduction it comes into the growth stage, after growth stage it comes into the maturity, and after maturity it comes to the decline stage. So how a product value from introduction to decline, how the cycle moves, I would explain to you all. First is about the introduction. When that is an entrepreneur introduce a product to the customers, that is a new product into existing. First, he develops that products and he launches, and he launched that particular product in the country, in his own country first. That is called as an innovative launching of that particular product. The production is close to the market to respond to the initial customers and get their feedback. For example, once when the production, for example, I would like to tell you all, Apple iPhone, they introduced that particular product in US market. They got the feedback whether the customers are liking the product and whether it is useful by the customers, or what are the feedbacks, positive or negative, everything they take, and they make changes and they make quick adjustment in that particular product. And after the taking the feedback, the high production cost, and there are low volume. For example, the iPhone was has more demand, but the production for that particular product was less. So they introduced their product, that is the Apple iPhone, in the market. They have launched that phone in market, and after getting the feedback they make quick adjustment in that particular product. And then comes the growth of that then that product, that iPhone, enters into the growth stage. In this growth stage it is increased, that is growth is like increased demand, which lead to the higher production, and export from the innovating country. For example, the iPhone demand in USA is high, as well as in India also. They start to export when they get positive results, positive feedback in their country. They export their product to various countries for the innovating their product, or for the to the different countries, wherein this leads in this growth stage. The product of that demand of that particular product goes on increasing. And also after this is called as a growth stage of that particular product, when the demand for that particular product is high and the supply is less. Initially in few days back, once when the startingly when iPhone was launched, after the introduction and the growth stage, the demand for that particular product was high, and the supply for that product was less. And after this the product and any product, it after the growth stage, it comes to the maturity stage. In this maturity, wherein the product becomes standardized, sorry. Here, the production may shift to other country with lower cost labor, and innovating country may import the product from the lower cost producer. And the market saturation, and also it leads to the competition. For example, from one unit of in USA, that iPhone, what I said here, they may shift to other countries. Like, the production may shift to different countries, that is, in China, India, or so ever. And here, the labor cost also becomes less. And the product in this stage, once when they shift their production to different country, that particular stage is called as a maturity. After this matured stage, it comes to a decline stage. Here, after the company the production starts in various countries as well, the competition also increases. Like, to match that iPhone, there are different companies also which come into existing to make a competition with them. And after the competition, comparing both the products, their similarity features, these all things, the product enters into a decline stage, where the decrease of the demand will be there, and new innovation and new changing customers also will prefer. For example, in olden days, we used to use the phone, that was the Nokia phone. Then after it was in highly demand, it reached to the maturity stage, and it went to a decline because new touchscreen came into existing, wherein people wanted the new innovation. The touch mobile phones came into existing, and everything. So the Nokia demand went to a downfall, it declined. And the new people tried to adapt new technology, new type of product, that is the touch screen. Android cells came into existing, and after that iPhone came. And now we can also close that particular tabs or the screens. Folding screens also came into existing. So these type the competition and the new innovation competitions in that particular product will also come into existing. This type of stage is called as a decline stage of that particular that particular product. So the product has four stages. This was explained in this theory, that is the Raymond theory. The life cycle of the product: first, the introduction, wherein the product is being launched and the innovation is shown to the people. And the growth, that is the demand is increases, and the production will be higher in that stage. And third comes the maturity. Maturity is when the product becomes standardized, and they come into different countries, that the production will come into different countries. Looking to that, the other competition come into existing, and they go into a decline. That the product goes into a decline stage, that is the value of that product goes on decreasing as new competition came, and new features, new type of technology came into existing. So let me give you all few examples. Like, as I said you, I give you all about the iPhone. One more example I would like to tell you all as a personal computers, that is the PCs. For example, in United States, they came up with the companies like IBM or the Apple. They developed and produced earlier. Like, the early computers was being developed at in USA only, and they have a high cost and limited production, where the cost was high in making that particular PC. And also they have limited production, so that the demand for that particular product was less. In India and all, people used to not import that particular item, that is the computers were rarely found. So that computers, that is the IBM or the Apple, once when they produce, they after production the cost also will be high, and so due to the cost high, the limited production would be there. And then comes the growth. In this growth stage, the computers will start, for example, the demand for the PCs grows rapidly. That was from 1980s to 1990s. Here the demand for that PCs were rapidly grown high, not only in USA but also in international other countries as well. For example, the Dell laptop came into existing, HP came into existing. So these type of growth started of that PCs, like different varieties of PCs came into existing. Next comes the maturity states. After 1990s to 2000, there was also more companies move from manufacturing of the from one country to another country. Like they set up their different set up production hubs in various countries, so that the competition so that they can produce more and they can get less cheaper labor cost for that particular product. And after that, in this stage, after that, more competition also come into existing, wherein different type of PCs or the smartphones or the tablets came into existing, where the cost of that particular product goes on declining, or the cost will become low, so that the next innovation came into existing. So in this manner, the product life cycle to go on to that decline stage. Before that, for example, as I said, your iPhone, there are different versions of that, like iPhone 4, 5, 6 and 10, 12, now where it has reached 14, somewhere it has been reached. So they have to, the company has to keep in mind that they have to come with new innovations yearly wise, or they have to be strong in the research and development, so that they can also get that technology in their particular product which they are uh, producing, so that the product doesn't go into a decline stage. So they have to come up with new features, they have to come with new innovations, or the price should be much more competitive compared to other that is the other competitors as well, other products in that same field. So till here the product life cycle you all understood, guys, the stages and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So, ma'am, I want to ask you
Mm.
this quick one question.
Mm.
Like product management life cycle is usually do those countries those who are very developed. Am I right?
No, I said y'all only. I said y'all example of that iPhone. Like how it now it is not declined. The iPhone is it is still in demand because they're coming up with new features. As you know, from iPhone which were there first early stages, now we are having iPhone 14 or plus also. I don't know what it is. They came upon iPhone Red, iPhone Golden. We can find. So why they're coming with new features? To just to beat the competition and also exist in the market. So
Okay,
they
ma'am.
have the demand for that particular product. So the cycle, I said, you all know the Nokia phones. Initially nobody were having phones, they used to connect with the landlines only. They came into existing that is the Nokia phone with the keypad ones, right? They did not
Yes.
develop like the touch screen, they did not came up with the innovation. So that particular product got declined. So instead of getting decline, it is better that product life cycle should not come into decline. Uh, the manufacturer or the people who are working for that particular product, that R&D team should be more strong, so that they can come with new features, and the demand for that particular product should not go into decline. Or they should the demand for that product, people should not move to something else. And also I would like to tell you all, like Facebook was in highly demanded, it got declined, everybody moved to Instagram to Snapchat. So these type of the interest went on. Initially they were like TikToks, now we are using Reels to make that particular product. So that also, instead of declining that, there are different features adding on to it. Like we can add music there only, we can blur the different features. Example I'm telling you all. So the product, whatever we are giving the services, or the product we are exporting, the company should have, the owner should have that initiative. Like the product should not go into a decline stage. If it goes in a decline stage, or customers are moving from one to another, from Facebook we move to Instagram, from Instagram nowadays the teenagers are moving up to Snapchat. So these are the various things where the decline for that particular product is going down. So it has an introduction when the Facebook came into an existing. Then everybody were like, internet and all, they were crazy for that particular services, that Facebook, making friends and all. Then one by one, many people started opening their account in Facebook, and suddenly Instagram they moved out, because there we can find good features like, we can make reels, and photos are. Then after that, they shifted to Snapchat, because the photos we can having many emojis, or the photos are coming more clear. They came up into a new innovations. So the product life cycle they have been explained from the introduction to the decline of that particular product.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Got it, no? Yeah. Next comes, after this product life cycle theory, next came as the global strategic rivalry theory. In this, the global strategic rivalry theory developed by the economists such as Paul and the Kevin. So they focused on how multinational companies can compete and global scale. This theory empathized to that is, the role of the economist of the scale production differentiation, and the importance of the strategic actions like the innovation, branding, and investing, and R&D. So in this, they came up with a concept that is, for example, once when the product is launched, who an entrepreneur, he want. I'm sorry, the internet is not stable. Guys, y'all can just get that. Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible to me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No. Yeah. I just got a message that internet is not stable. Yeah, if it happens, so guys, just wait for 1 minute. I'll just because as there is heavy rain here, so I don't know when the internet will get disconnected. So again, I'll rejoin from the mobile hotspot. Don't worry.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, in this global strategic theory, what it came into exist, whenever a product is being launched, it has to be different from the other products. For example, if I can't produce the same product which is already existing. For example, any product like soap. I have to differentiate from the other products. Then the hand washes came, right? The liquid hand wash which we are using. So in this way, my product should be differentiated, or my product should be different from the other products. I'm coming up with new innovations. So the product has to be first. In this theory, they have explained that whenever we launch one product, we have to have one differentiation that is different from other products. That particular product should be new in market, and it has to have some strategic actions like innovation. It has to be, that is, it has to have the people who have no idea. For example, the phone pay and all which came into existing, that was a new thing. People first, they used to only make payments to cash or cards. Then next, the phone pay came into existing. This was a new innovation. And also it has to have a good branding. For example, the packaging, the branding, what they are doing, so that it will be much more attractive to the people to, and easily it has to be user friendly also. So the branding should be good. And also the investment, that is in R&D, that in next 5 years they have to predict that this type of competition will come. So one for example, the Swiggy came into existing. Then with that, Zomato also came, and there are other this also, like Blinkit only for groceries. Some other apps also came. So these type of competition may also come. So the company or the production people should the they have to have good knowledge, and they have to invest on the research and development team as research and development team as well. So they suggest that the firms has to gain the competitive advantage through these type of strategic action, which can create a barriers to enter the other firms. In this theory, they have said that we have the innovation, the branding, and the investment in the R&D should be more strong, so that the other products or the other similar products, they don't have any competition, or the competition should be at a very less people should be in that particular for that particular competition. So to enter them or to make competition should be less for the firms. So this was explained in that. So here, we are having here, the competition for the large firms, like the Swiggy, Zomato. These are the huge companies where already people have been adapted them, and to compete them, it is much more tougher as they are having large number of customers. Almost everybody are the customers of these type of companies, the larger firms. So the key points here are the economics of scales, the product differentiation. As I said, you R&D should be strong and innovation should be there, and strategic alliance. For example, like the I would like to give you all the global automotive industry, like the Toyota and Volkswagen. So these are the two big brands wherein their economic of scales are too high. Like both the Toyota and Volkswagen, they produce millions of vehicles annually. So allowing them with the speed to fix that particular cost or manufacture over a large number of units, this reduces the average cost per vehicle and makes them more competitive on price. So Toyota and Volkswagen, these are the big companies where we can't compete with them. And many vehicles, millions of vehicles have been produced per year. So to make them, so these type of big companies are enter into this type of trade, that is the global strategic trade, where the competition is too high, where one company comes up with that, it has to have good knowledge, it has to have R&D, it has to have innovation, these type of things. For example, electric car vehicles were not into existing, only Activa, these type of petroleum products were there. Then when electric, that is the Ola, these type of vehicles came into exist, at that time it is very tough competition for them to beat, which are already existing, which are familiar by everybody. So to give them tough competition, Activa, these type of access, these type of vehicles, to beat them, the electric vehicles came. And before this also, they were like the gear type of vehicles were there, like the pedal they used to, boys used to use those type of vehicles earlier. Now everybody are adapted into Activa. Now from Activa to the electric vehicles. So this is the tough competition. So they have to be more strong in the economic scale. They have to have different, that whenever I'm introducing to give to beat these type of huge companies, like the Activa and the other companies, I have to have good product differentiation. That is the Ola came into existing by with the electric features in it, like only charging that particular vehicle, and then people can use that. When they came up into this type of differentiation, then their product gave a competition to this type of big existing vehicle companies. So this is explained in this theory. So till here it is clear, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next comes as a poster theory of competitive advantage of nations. For example, no, before example, let me tell you all, the Poster's theory of competitive advantage of nation is also known as the Poster's diamond model, which explains why certain countries are leaders in specific industry. It says that countries' success is the industry depends on the four factors, that is the quality of the resources, like the skilled workers and the technology, and the strength and the demands of the local market, the presence of related industry that supports the innovation, and intensity of the local competition. For example, I would like to tell you all, like Japan and all these in Japan we have highly innovation. It is an highly innovated country, that is they can produce the best electronic products, or the more innovative electronic items we can find in Japan. This is because it has an highly educated workforce, where the education comparatively to India and other states, they are much more better way, as the education is and education is much more higher, and the workforce is also higher. And for example, and also the demanding of those type of customers who can push better products, which make it much more stronger, or supporting industries like the advanced materials, and also the competition for these type of companies like Sony and Panasonic. So these are also the factors which which comes together to create in an environment where the companies can thrill, and they can lend into globally. So for I would like to explain to you all in a short example, wherein in Posters theory of competition, in India, they are a global leaders, like the IT services, because the large pools of skilled, like the English speaking. For example, in China there are less people who can speak in English. So the international companies, the multinational companies are the companies are being built up here in India, so that in India many people are can speak English, and the IT knowledge is also fast and advanced, and people are also migrating to Germany. They are studying there and getting high paid there, and also some of them are coming back to India to for the good positions. So in this way, India is also coming up with the good IT services as well. That is IT knowledge also becoming professions, like good speaking in English, and also IT knowledge is good for them. So while growing in this type of demand, that is the tech solutions, and also the strong support from the education, like they are nowadays everybody are wanting are entering into education as well. Like like the olden days in India, their education was very less and very minimal. Nowadays we can find good educations as well. So and also we are having tech industries as well. So the competition for the top IT firms like TCS and Infosys, so here the elements will come together in an environment for the innovation to make an IT sector much more better. So in this poster theory of competitive advantage, here it has been explained that that the IT services and the technology came into existing, and the demand for this type of industries has been boomed into a very high level, and also supporting these type of industries and firms are being a much strategical way, like Infosys and TCS, they are both Indian companies only. That is these type of companies to give competition in IT world is much more tough, as they are having a good IT sectors, good knowledge in IT. So these type of companies are a much more booming in this industry nowadays. So this type of companies are come into the poster theory of competitive advantage. So till here it is clear, guys. Any doubts, you all can ask the questions, as these
Yes,
theories are
ma'am.
little bit
Clear.
yeah, these theories are little bit kind of right from the olden periods till now, the theories have been written. So you all can just, once if you all will read, you all will get to know. So at first only it is little bit tougher. Now once whenever you all will read this PPT, you all will get to know. Okay, next move. Let's move to the role of Indian global trade. What the India is playing, what roles are there of India towards the global trade? So here we have the export contributions, and we also have import contributions as well. Sorry, export contribution and the import dependency. Like export what we are contributing to other countries, and import means what we are dependent on their products for the Indian consumption. So let's study about them. First, what is an export contributors? For example, what we are contributing to other countries, that what we are exporting. First is about the IT technology, that is that is the information technology IT services we are providing to other countries, like foreign countries we are providing services. For example, we are working with Apple companies in Bangalore, Pune. There are in metro cities, we are having many of the sectors of IT sectors, wherein the foreign countries we are working to. So we are providing services to them by working in their particular shift in their particular company. So this services is also called, this contribution is also called as an export contribution to the foreign countries. And also the pharmaceuticals, for example, the Ayurvedic, the raw materials or the plants are as good climatic conditions according to the geography, climate, rain, sun, these type of condition. Pharmaceutical items also have been we are exporting pharmaceutical products to the other countries. The textiles and agriculture products and also the automobiles and the other components also we are been exporting to different countries. First, let me tell you about the information technology and services. India in the global leader in IT businesses, and India, for example, there are many BPOs. That is the business process outsourcing. That is the customer support. We are many people are working in BPO sectors, like company like Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, Wipro. So these type are clients are present worldwide, that you can't find only TCS in India. You can find TCS in Germany, you can find TCS in Saudi Arabia, you can find TCS in other different countries, UK. So these type of countries are they are having their hubs available, or their setups available. That is TCS, Infosys are, you can find it worldwide also. That is Infosys are also available in outside India also. So they are having their offices worldwide. So we are contributing our services, that is we are exporting our our technology to them. That is the IT sectors, that is the BPOs or the company like Tata, Infosys, Wipro. So these type are available, these type of clients are available worldwide. So next comes as a pharmaceuticals. In pharmaceutical, India is known as a pharmacy of the world. For example, in COVID and all, the medicines which are was being first manufactured in India only. So India is known as a pharmacy of the world by supplying the affordable genetic medicines and also the vaccines, as I said you. And companies like Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, and Cipla, these type uh, medicines are also found in international as well. So because we are exporting our products to them, so India is good for pharmaceutical industry as well. So you can find the Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy, and Cipla, these type of pharmacy companies also available in worldwide, not only in India, in other states, in other countries also. Next comes as a textiles. In textiles, India is one of the largest producers and exporters of textiles, that is the garments like cotton, silk, jute. So you can find many garments available in India, that is the cotton, silk is highly demanded, and jute type of products. So we export these type of products also to different countries. And then comes as a agriculture. As you know, India exports the worldwide agriculture products, for example, the rice, the spices, tea, coffee, seafood, etc. Then comes the automobile components. In automobile components, which includes the cars, the motorcycle, and the auto parts, which significant to exports sectors in India. Like we export the motorcycles, that is any of the product which are exported, like the cars or the motorcycles. So you can find Indian products also available in different countries, not only in India, you can find it in other countries. So after this comes as the import dependence. So what we are exporting, we are importing few of the items also from other countries. So first is about the crude oil. That is any of the, yes, any someone said messaged. Okay, Minu, I'll share it to you. Yeah, next comes as the import dependency. So we are dependent upon different other countries as well. That is for the crude oil, for the electronic and machinery items, for the gold and precious metals, and also the chemicals and fertilizers as well. Crude oil, India is heavily dependent on the imported crude oil to meet the energy needs. That is making it one of the largest importers in the oil globally. That is, for example, the petroleum from the Saudi Arabia, we are dependent on that. Or for the nowadays the LPGs and the CNG gases also came into existing, they are used in the vehicles as well. So we are depending, so we are importing those type of items from other countries. Next comes as the electronics and machineries. India is exporting a sustainable amount of electronics, like the mobile phone, computers, and other industrial machinery items. Like we are depending, for example, iPhone. As I said, in India, it is highly demanded for an iPhone. So what people do, iPhone is an foreign brand, right? So they come. So in India, it is demanded. So we import that type of products. That is, the mobile phones or the computers or any other industrial machinery which we automatic machineries which are required in the industries, so we import those type of items also. Next comes as the gold and the precious metals. Gold is a significant import. We are importing gold as well. That is by for our domestic demand. In India, gold jewelries are more in demand, or the stones, the precious metals, they are in demand, like platinum came into existing. So these type of other metals also are in demand for our domestic consumption, for our domestic use. So we have to import these type of items also from other countries. Then comes as a chemicals and fertilizers. The agriculture sectors relies on the imported the fertilizers and also the chemicals. Some of the chemicals and fertilizers used for the agriculture implements, it might be used for any other any other sectors, chemicals have been required. So for that consumption, we are also importing those type of items. Then comes what is the trade policies and agreement. Bilateral and multilateral agreements came into existing, and also the trade promotion and reforms. In bilateral and multilateral, India is a part of several trade agreements and organizations such as South Africa trade area came into exist, and also other agreements they have signed into. That is like the regional comprehensive education partnership. So these type of agreements they have signed, and also they promote that make in India, as everybody are aware of that. So this type of agreement also they came into existing. And also recently they have entered into free trade agreement, as I explained you all in the first that is first slide. That was the first session which I took. That was the FTAs, that is the free trade agreements. So these type of agreements they came into existing. So this is the policy and agreement which India came into for the betterment of the future of India. They came into exist. They came into sign up these type of agreements. That is make in India. Make in India, it is for as the PM Narendra Modi many years back, he said that we have to make the products maximally, we have to use Indian products, so that our exporting should be high rather than importing. That is to balance the trade of India. So he used to say come up with good innovation, come up with make the products as much as you can in India only, rather than using the foreign products. So these type of terms, these type of things came into existing, that is make in India. And also free trade agreement policy came into existing, for that is for some certain products or services. The taxes for that the taxes which they pay for that product is it is free trade, or it is has a less minimal amount of trading. So this type of agreement came into existing. So this is all for today, guys. Do you all have any doubt in any of the slides? You all can just tell me. I'll just scroll
Um,
one by one.
Ma'am, can you please share this recording session to the WhatsApp group?
Huh, they will share you all. And also you all can visit for the YouTube also, they are sharing it. As I saw, ma'am has shared. And for this PPT also I will share. So guys, just glance, just see one by one. I'll scroll down. Is it clear? Understanding, as I said you, what is the global
Ma'am,
trade, and
everything
here
is
the
clear, ma'am.
theories.
Can you explain
Yes.
something about the Incoterms, ma'am? Because in import and export,
Inco.
a very important thing, right, ma'am? It's a vital part of any export business or import business
Uh-huh.
about the Incoterms.
Which terms you're talking about?
I am talking about the international commercial terms, ma'am. International commercial terms like X works or something like that, which is uh, prevalent in the shipping industry and exporting.
Okay, in the next sessions, one by one, we will explain to you all in depth. So this was just a first thing, how what is the basics of the international trade and what agreement we are into in India, in what they are contributing, which all agreements they came into existing. You're talking about the process which you want from the trading process, right? Right, from how it starts to the end. Is it that, Ritesh? You asked me the question, guys. Is it the same one? What you all heard? What he want? Anybody want to say anything on this? Ritesh,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think, yeah, yeah. What, it was Ritesh, right, who addressed now?
No, 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 ma'am.
No,
Then
I'm Ritik, ma'am.
Ritik, no, who addressed now? They asked some question, right? They want the
Sheen,
whole
ma'am.
process. Sheen,
Sheen.
okay. Sheen, for the whole process, you have to wait. One by one, we will study according to it. Now, do you have any doubts or in these theories? Like from the olden theories to the existing one and the agreements, do you have any doubt in this?
Ma'am, I want to ask you the question to you.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
see, like between the 3 or 4 slides, you explain all the things. Like, if think about it, like if iPhones
Hmm.
demanding in the worldwide is totally increased day by day, okay,
Yeah.
and their price will be increased if their demand is increased, okay. So
No, no,
what
no.
the
The price will not increase. See, the demand will increase. No, iPhones only it is coming up to the price is also increasing, and they are adding those type of features in that, because that particular product should not go into a decline stage. There are many competitions, like Vivo phone came into existing, Samsung came to give them good competition to iPhone. But iPhone is their feature are something different, entirely different from the other Android's phone, right? You agree that, right? If you are an
yes, ma'am.
iPhone user, then you might be knowing that the it is not much as user friendly as your other Android phones, which comparatively, if you are having an iPhone and your mother is having an Android set, then you can compare both of them. Their feature is different compared to your mother's phone, your phone and your mother's phone. Or the camera quality is much more high. So they are coming into iPhone 14, and till date the iPhone 14 is there, or iPhone 16. Even I am not sure about that iPhone.
iPhone 16 will be launched.
Will be launched, right? Again, in that there will be some other features. So that iPhone is not entering yet into a decline stage. That iPhone product is not coming into a decline stage, because it is working on it. Research and development is more strong uh, in that product team.
No, no, ma'am. I'm not
Hmm.
asking that question. I'm saying that like if iPhone's demand is increasing, okay, so the
Hmm.
iPhone is manufacturing and developing our stores in India or any other developing countries. So why it
Okay.
is happen?
Yeah, because the demand for that particular product is high in India. So they are manufacturing that product in India,
Hello, my I think the network
right?
issue is over there.
Many people, yeah. Huh? My mic
Uh,
issue, you're telling?
okay,
For
ma'am.
example, you are booking for iPhone 18. Now only the bookings they are taking, right? We are not having much more according to their demand, they are increasing that. The production is a little bit slow comparatively. The demand is high because many people want. So to make that demand, to keep that demand for that particular product, the production is little bit slow. We have to wait for iPhones, right? Today, if you book that iPhone, you won't get today only. As you go to Flipkart, or anything, you just Android, you order, you get it within 7 days or 10 days. For this iPhone, people are waiting from months together before the launching of that particular product. They are booking that. Similarly, for the electric, that is the Ola, this also, what you call the Ola vehicles also, there is for the booking, the demand is high, right? So we have to book for that Ola prior 6 months or 8 months back. I hope you are aware of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. The demand is high for these type of products.
If the demand is high, the price
Mm.
will be not be able to increase.
It depends upon what the particular product is. If iPhone is increasing the price of next version of their model, then it will be increased, or the price will be same, then the price will be same, because if the price will be same, then naturally the demand will go down, right? So they increase to keep that particular demand, they increase the price also. Now people also, for their stylishness or to show off in front of people, Indian mentality, they show that I took iPhone 14 or iPhone 18, which is cost of 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs. So to increase that demand, to keep to look rich, they do these type of they use these type of strategies. The company use these type of strategies.
I read somewhere this thing, so that's why I discussed with
Mm,
you. And same thing happens with the Samsung Galaxy S24 also, because
mm.
this phone is also right now demanding.
Yeah, it is demanded, but comparatively to the iPhone, people are it is a much more tough competition, iPhone. Any other doubt, Ritik?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ma'am, I have a
guys.
doubt.
Yeah,
Ma'am, is there any product that will not go to the decline stage, ma'am? Because for iPhones,
yeah.
they are always been on the growth and mature stage, ma'am.
Hmm.
They have never.
See, any product which one product, for example, you are the owner of Nokia. Okay, no, I'm the owner of Nokia and you are the owner of the iPhone. You are strong in your research and development team. You can predict what next 5 years can happen. So according to that, you come up with those type of features. And I'm being an Nokia, I thought in Nokia company, the research and development, they did not adapt that touch screen type of features, or they didn't came up with new models as well. For example, you can take the the ambassador car also. They did not came into innovations for different type of products. So that ambassador car got into a decline stage. So for the product should not go into a decline stage, the team should be more strong in research and development. They have to predict what next 1 year or next 5 years the people are wanting into, how they have to come with those type of features, innovation skills, innovation thinking, the team should have. And that type of research and development team should be much more stronger, not only in their country, they have to look according to the worldwide or the global also, to avoid their product to go into a decline stage. Any other doubts? Is it clear?
So, ma'am, also in the nearby future, any product which have demand right now can
Uh,
fall
yeah,
to
it
the.
may go into decline if they don't work on their particular product. If for example, nowadays in laptops we can find good, this camera is not good. I'm telling you, the my phone, this laptop is Lenovo laptop. Initially, before this, computers were there. After that, laptop came with no cameras. Now you can find cameras. Then next, they are coming up with the camera which is having, it automatically gives me a good light to the face tone or the eyebrows, or I can get a good what you call, whenever I see the camera quality, the screen quality will be good. And some laptops which my brother he uses a touch screen laptop also. So these type of innovations came. If that particular product will not work on the innovations, then that product will go into a decline stage. It has to think of the future, it has to think about, it has to predict for next 5 years or next 2 years at least, so that the product demand will not decrease.
Same thing happens with the Indian companies, that is like
Mm.
Carbon and Lava
Mm.
also. Am I right?
Yes, correct. Any other doubt, guys?
Nothing, ma'am. Today,
Okay.
I think we have learned something new about.
Yeah, we learned more today, actually.
Yes, ma'am.
There
We
were
learn such a
many
new thing.
theories, many theories were there, and it was a good, interesting class, guys. Really, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, where found this PDF?
Yeah, a PDF will be shared in group. shortly. And also guys, y'all are ma'am is sharing y'all the YouTube videos also. And if the views, if you'll go and watch that, no, the views also increases, and y'all can share it also, so that the views can go increasing. And the company also will come into, people will be knowing of this type of platform is also there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything else guys?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
shall
Thank
we
you so
drop off?
much.
Yeah, thank you guys, have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Have a
thank you
great
so
day,
much,
ma'am.
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Thank you guys, bye, take care.